Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys are doing very well today. Luckily, I'm working from home today, and on my lunch break, I can go over these notes next to a very, very sleepy cat. Hope you guys enjoy. If you do, please drop a like and sub. I have some very, very, and I seriously cannot stress this enough, the coolest stuff I've maybe ever done dropping this week, assuming everything goes to plan. So, stick around, check out the channel. Let's get into these notes. So, Mandala is now a day 6 or later spawn. Why was Mandala changed? Basically, kind of the tech that you could do was you could get a large item from Curio, for example. So Stelle, for example, has only gold large items. Like she has no silver or bronze large items. So you could go to Curio, buy a large item that's bronze, and then immediately Mandala it, and it would roll into a different tier. The other way I thought they would fix it is that if there wasn't any available items for it to roll into, it would just stay the same item. So like you try to roll bronze, large, it doesn't work. Let's see, butterfly swords now has more casts. That's interesting. I've never actually seen butterfly swords be useful in any way at all. So it's kind of cool to see it's getting a little buff. Incendiary, okay. Okay, these are just bug things. Okay, bug. Flare gun, bug fix. Pressure heater, bug fix. Balloon engine. Cooled it to 4? But it burns less. I think I can fuck with that. Is that a buff or is that a nerf? I think, I don't know, maybe they envision balloon engine as something that is more of like an activator. Because I will say early game it feels a little bad. Like, I want balloon engine to be like a good activator, but the burn was a little oppressive at times. So maybe they buffed it. I don't know. We'll have to see. Balloon engine was actually already a pretty solid Stelle build. Now it's faster, but less burn. It's hard to say. Birdcage. Okay, bug fix. Grabinator. Yeah, so Grabinator initial tooltip was a little confusing. It looked like it would destroy your item to the left, which would actually be potentially even good on Stelle, because Stelle has a lot of self-destroy stuff, or like items that want to be destroyed that are medium. Fix that. Hang glider nerf, pretty justified. This item's pretty fucking strong. Stelle's strongest item, arguably. I would say it's hammer, but it was one of the most consistent Stelle builds. Very, very strong. Hanger. Okay. Shiny fix. Runabout. Oh, interesting. So Runabout's now a silver. So now Stelle does have large items that are different tiers. That's really interesting. Okay. Well, that also is interesting because now if you do, because you can still go to, what's his name? Dabbling Apprentice, and you can get a catalyst. So, right, previously you would get a large item that's bronze, Mandala it. Well, you can still get a large item that's bronze and catalyst it. However, if you do that now, you're going to get private runabout instead of a broken gold item. That's sick. So, yeah, hard to say. I think I heard kind of back and forth in at least my Discord about if runabout was good or not. Who's to say? Does make it a more interesting, I think, early game for her. Lightning Butterfly, yeah, this is a little overtuned. It was kind of crazy how much scaling this thing could give, especially with stuff like headset and, hang glider. You can just really get like a ton of damage scaling very, very fast. Same with Observatory, another silver item that's very interesting to me. I like this change of like adding more items into her early to mid game, as it'll kind of diversify the pool a little bit and also allow you to play with like different items at different points in the game. So I'm all for that. Parachute, numbers reduced, makes sense. Parachute was a very, very strong defensive item. Wrecking Ball nerf. No! I understand why. Love that. I remember talking on the Bazaar podcast, and they were talking about, no, I don't think Wrecking Ball's that good. Nobody's like really had success with it. I don't know if the numbers were tweaked or anything, but this thing was insane. That makes sense. Wrecking Ball is so good. And you did have to have two things. Like, you had to have Obsidian plus crit, or like crit plus the Lord of the Waste skill. But you could actually one-shot somebody with Wrecking Ball, which is always a little tough. And now you still can do it if like the stars really, really align. It's a lot harder. I think Wrecking Ball should be like kind of a supplemental item that you can kind of fit in the builds and is like a nice little damage way, but like it was doing so much damage. And also it destroys items. It's just makes sense. A lot slower. Nicola, oh, 610's gonna be so sad. Sorry, 610. Yeah, Nicola was also insane. I mean, it was consistently pretty easy to get this thing to like diamond tier, but like also shiny. So like this thing would charge, you know, if it's shiny, it's like, oh, let me just charge something for 8 seconds. That's obviously broken. So makes sense. It hurts, but makes sense. Also, this is wrong. It was not 234. I'm pretty, or was it 234? No, it was 234. That's all right. But take a second off. It makes sense. Hammer. Okay, so hammer's still a broken item, but it no longer passes on enchantments, which means now that if you're Stelle, you can't give anything shiny. That used to be attack, as you would do your orbital polisher on hammer, and then you could upgrade hammer anything to instantly, you know, give it shiny, whether it be like your wrecking ball, something else. So now that's gone. Totally reasonable in my opinion. Also, yeah, shiny wrecking ball is disgusting because it destroys 2 items. That's actually really gross. Also starts at gold, so means that from toolbox, it's not going to be as common. Still a very, very strong item and still something that if you see it, I would pick it up. But I think it's a fair strong item if that makes sense. Drafting table, kind of same treatment. Sky anchor. I actually never saw anybody run this, so that could be like a fun early mid-game thing to maybe explore a little bit. Oh, she's yelling. She's a yelly cat. She'll be okay. Pressure heater. Also interesting. Yeah, it looks like they're really trying to diversify her mid-game. Add more items into that so that it's like you're not... I don't know. When I was playing Stelle, it felt very samey every time I was playing the early mid-game. So it's nice to hopefully not feel samey and have a diversity of builds. And also, like, kind of reduce the consistency of her small item pool. Weather machine starts at silver. 2, 3, 4 items start flying. Freeze an item. Cool. So yeah, again, weather machine is interesting too. I really like the addition of large items in the silver tier. So yeah, we'll see how this plays out. It's interesting that maybe you like run weather machine with I think it's steam hose, the one that's like whenever you slow like this gains burn for the fight. Maybe this is another way to enable steam hose because previously you only had like fire hose to really enable it. So maybe that's a thing. Or maybe it's just like a more consistent way to get your lightning rod online. Is that the right item? Wrench, no longer pass on enchantments on itself. All reasonable. Brick buddy numbers. Let's see. Okay, so they buffed it at early days, but it's still the same late. Okay, same with Clarence. Really interesting. Charging station. Let's see. Oh, I didn't even know this was a silver tier item. Okay. 1 to 2 seconds. No longer... Dude, I'm actually really glad I got to check this part out. Yesterday I had a build where I had a multicast core and charging station, and I literally was next to a yo-yo, so I created like an infinite with my core and yo-yo, and also my core had freeze. It was awesome. Cooling fans, bug fix. Wasp starts at silver. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. I'm good at that. It seems like more of a silver item. I'm good at that. Launcher core, charge your other flying items. 1 second. That seems reasonable, so now it can't charge itself. Not unreasonable. Launcher core felt very, very strong to me. Lizard. Ooh, interesting. So lizard is like, its whole stick is like, I'm pretty sure whenever you haste, like, use this thing, and it's like crazy poison. Oh, yeah, I want to see if this sees plays now. I might try out a little monitor lizard today. Very interesting, though. So, take it back to silver, because it wasn't like a true win con at gold, but maybe it could be now. Oh, pulse rifle's no longer attack. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Remove the damage. No longer attack. That's really interesting. So, like, pulse rifle obviously is very, very good at stuff like railgun, and I think just with the buffs they gave pulse rifle, where pulse rifle, instead of scaling damage when you level it, was scaling cooldown. So I think it diamond tier, so it goes 6, 5, 4, 3. So it's 3 seconds at diamond tier. So you're averaging like 3 procs for 2 board slots, which is insane. So I think with things like railgun, maybe it was just a little out of hand. I don't know. I didn't really necessarily see railgun, but definitely interesting to see the tech removal. Damages, whatever. Okay. Firefly, also silver. That's really interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. But I get it. Like, these items are kind of horrible bronze items. Scrap metal starts at gold. I also noticed, maybe the patch just dropped, in my last dually game, I noticed that yeah, I got 10%. Also, this makes sense. This item's also super broken. It's like hammer. It's like super broken. I noticed that it was only by 6 items, and maybe that it was always that way at gold, but I thought it was like 10 at silver. Maybe it was by 10 at silver, 8 at gold, 6 at diamond. Very interesting. And Mantis also charges faster. I'm good at that. I think the bugs have been weak for a while, so I don't mind bug upgrades. Booby trap. Close sign is now diamond tier. That's interesting. Yeah, I was really seeing a lot of success with like value pig builds, so close sign change is crazy. Bug fix. Property to ice cream truck. That's awesome. There's definitely been a few times where I'm like, for the love of all that is holy, can we make ice cream truck a property? That's a big buff for your freeze builds, because there's a lot of skills that's like when you use a property, haste, or like that kind of stuff. That's a big ice cream truck buff, and maybe ice cream truck is now good enough to be run in like pig freeze builds. Enchantment fix. Yeah, hopefully these are like playable now. Globe enchantments are always ass. It's like it doesn't need to necessarily see play on board, but it'd be cool to have like niche situations where globe like pops off. Shiny no longer gives health from stash. I'm not sure what that means. Let's go Bazaar and look at pawn shop real quick. Double max health bonus. Yeah, we'll have to see. Maybe it was like a bug fix. Rice baller. Showcase. Okay, cool. Bug fix. No longer passes enchantments. Okay. Fungal spores. Invuln potion now is silver tier. Okay. And you get more ammo, but it's 1 second. I'm good at that. I always felt like it could be really, really frustrating late game, especially when an invuln potion was randomly generated from like recycling bin, and it was diamond tier, and so you like drop below, like you get them right below half, 2 seconds of invuln, and then the item triggers again, another 2 seconds of invuln. That shit always felt so bad to play against. So I'm okay with it having more ammo, but I really like the fact that it's 1 second. 2 seconds felt like way too long. Potion Distillery is a property. I'm good at that. Shrinking Pot nerf? Oh, I didn't even realize they buffed it to 4 seconds. That makes sense. That makes sense. Because, like, yeah, Widgeon was talking about why that shit's so broken. I'm like, yeah, well, it's slow as cooldown. It wasn't. That's 4 seconds. Yeah, that makes sense. Understandable. And Pendulum. Oh, my boy. Oh, they just old yellered Pendulum. Pendulum's unplayable, dude. Not unplayable, but it's so much worse. Like, oh, sometimes you could run a gold pendulum on your board and it would be good enough. At 1 second though, at diamond tier, it's just not good enough. It just really isn't. What's crazy too is that like they have that brand new Mac flying item, which is basically pendulum for your whole board. That item is like, whenever you use an enchanted or flying item, charge another enchanted or flying item 2 seconds. That's like fucking pendulum for your whole board. So that sucks, but I get it because Pendulum's really strong. We could definitely play test it with 1 second and see how it feels, but every item I ever fall in love with, like Powder Keg, Pendulum, always gets fucking taken out back, man, which feels bad. But it is what it is. So really interesting changes. Obviously a lot of warranted Stelle nerfs, so we'll have to see how Stelle feels. Hopefully her mid and early game is a little more dynamic as well, now that like there's just more diversity in her items, like more things start at silver. Additionally, really glad to see that they changed a lot of the super broken shit in terms of like, where is it? Like Hammer was super broken, Nicola was pretty broken, like stuff like that I'm really glad to see fixed. Cause like, make it fair. Like take away the super broken stuff. Same with Mandala. And it's like also early day too. Like you don't necessarily want to see Mandala a lot of the time. So, love to see it, taking away a lot of the broken Stelle shit, and then like fixing some dueling numbers. Yeah, I've just started playing dueling this patch, so I'm still trying to figure out what's strong, but we'll have to see. Interesting. Interesting. They definitely want these items to be better early. Yep. Cool. Well, I'm good at that. Anyways, guys, hate to see Pendulum go, but hope you guys enjoyed. Hope these patch notes were educational for you guys. I'll be posting more videos this week. Take care, guys. Hope you're doing well, and hope to see you in the next one. If you haven't, check out my streams, 6:30 to 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, all the time, except this Friday, and actually Wednesday will be a different schedule. Next Monday, though. Anyways, if you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe. Thank you, guys, and take care, everybody.